All right. So I took those two trades on my two accounts, the 200K, no, the 5 second, no, the 10 point entry, hit stop loss. The, did I post just the same pictures? Never mind. Let me do this. Yeah, so the 5 second entry hit TP. I got slipped up a little bit. I think I had a better or I had a good entry when I took it. But I got slipped up a little bit and then the 10 point entry did hit stop loss, unfortunately. So I think as US 30 keeps pushing up, we should be able to get a 16, 26.46. I also saw that gold has been doing pretty nicely with the pre-market stuff, pre-market highs and lows. Let's see something here. I'll just add an alert on gold here, but I haven't traded gold in forever. Yes, all right, so we closed above the 15-minute buy. So this might be one of those days where price doesn't reverse from the 15-minute buy that's created during market open. So that's fine. It does happen more times than not. But right here, let's see, for the EMAs, we've tested all EMAs that are close by where price is at. So most of the EMAs are below price, and all of those EMAs have been retested, right? All of them, other than the 15-minute EMA 2 and US 30 would have to dip, and we don't even have a demand zone down there. So I don't see any EMA trade. Price is so bullish, so price is above all these EMAs, which also makes sense how US 30 push to the upside, because if we do a bar replay here, you'll see that price was above pretty much every EMA. So price was pretty bullish to start off, and that's partially one of the reasons too why we got that push to the upside um, at market open. So it's also critical to look at EMAs before market open. Like if most of the EMAs are green based off of where price is at, then you probably expect like a push in the market. If most of the EMAs are red based off of where price is at, then you probably expect like a push to the downside. So right now, unless we get a major, uh, probably there's some major news or some major move in the market, US 30 may just keep, we do have FOMC meeting minutes later on at 2, but this is the FOMC that doesn't have the press conference, so that's fine. But yeah, if we don't get a big push back to the downside, they may have trouble breaking all these EMAs that are green here. And if we close below the 15-minute EMA, this would be a good sell. So I hope this candle would come and close below this 15-minute EMA one, because now that would set up for a sell. As much as we're in bullish territory, um, we do have this hourly bearish high and low order block here. So I think the only EMA trade we would get is break and closure of a 15-minute EMA one and something like this. But keep in mind, we are definitely bullish on multiple time frames. if if this EMA trade does happen, it will happen so fast. So we have like 6, 7 minutes before this either validates or invalidates. Also, I forgot we have a 15-minute SAR cell here that wasn't actually we do have it, but it's not in an area of demand. You can see demand is literally right above it, but we do have this 15-minute SAR rejection. But as much as we may not have any demand in it, so that's probably where price is coming to. If we did have a demand area, I would take the entry, but price will probably do this. Because again, this one was literally formed before market open, but they didn't get a chance to test it out. So maybe that's where price is coming down here, which is a good thing for the sell. So actually the sell would make sense up until 42,309. Because we have an untested 15-minute SAR entry. So the sell does look good up until that area, 42,310. All right, 50 seconds for this, but we have to close below that 15-minute EMA. And again, for scalps, we don't care whether there's an overlap of zones, because it's just like scalping, so you're only going for like small TP and stop loss. So we need to make sure that this candle closes above below the 15-minute EMA 1. And then, of course, for me, there's the 10-point entry that currently looks to be at 42,368. 367.6. So as soon, there it is. Okay. So price has to come up 367.6. So I don't need to see a crossover. Add alert here. Okay, there's the entry, and I am in that cell. And then I'm waiting for the 5-second entry on my 5-second account. So I'm in the cell, I'm in one cell here. So 400, 200, waiting for the 5-second entry, which this is EMA. So I need that 5-second. This is EMA. I think there's an entry on, wait, let me first enter this. Okay, so it's gonna be here. Nope, not yet. Yep, actually it's in. So I'm in that trade as well. So the 5-second entry. So I'm in both trades. So let's see. We should be able to get to that I forget what level it was. US 30 rejection resistance. All right, so there we go. All right, perfect. Almost at full TP for the 1:1. Just need one more push. Come on, come on. See, where's that 15-minute? Okay, yeah, so the 15-minute sell is a little, so we should hit TP on these two trades. So yep, my trailing stop is trailing. I'm up on that account, the 5-second account, still going in profit. I'm out and I'm still in the 10-point account. So, but full TP on the 0.5, I'm sorry, the 5-second entry. As much as I took TP on the 5-second entry before the market or when the market opened, my microphone, I was doing something else. So anyway, we're just gonna count one win today as much as there was two. So a nice 0.75 on that one. So the 5-second ones are definitely a little bit safer as well. And the 5-second ones, you're only going for a 1:1 risk to reward. When the 10-point entry, you're going for a 1:2. So let's see. If I win this one, then I should get back in profit for the 1:2 account. And this should hit TP. We should have a big spike here. There it is. I'm out. So nice win on that one as well. Perfect. And I think we're still going to go lower because I think we have that 15-minute thing. But anyway, let me do screenshots of this for my journal. The first thing this morning was based off of a 15-minute, and I think, let me think this through. Forgot to take the screenshot of the first trade where we took this morning. I think it was based off of a 15-minute. And there's some gold entries. I just heard a bunch of alerts for gold. So this is the first trade this morning. And then uh, this is the one we just took right now. That's at 42,358.6. So this was the 5-second entry. It's right there. All right. Take this. So let's see if we can catch anything else. Control save. Let's see those trades. I think there's some trades for gold and for US 30. Let's see. Perfect. Did copy on my accounts. Okay. Let's see the trades that showed up for. There is a buy for that's that one is too much overlap. But there is a buy on US 30, but it has a bunch of overlaps. There is a sell on US 30. Actually, nope. For gold, I think gold is gonna go up. We have a rejection off of an order block with a big wick from the bottom, but I really don't see an entry. Mm, all right. So watch this level right here for US 30, 42,309. I wish we had a buying area there, but this 42,309, I think this is where US 30 will come down to. Because that's where we have the 15-minute, the 15-minute SAR. But unfortunately, we're not in a green zone. If we were in a green zone, this would be a good buy to take for US 30 from towards the other side. This is what? Oh, I shouldn't have taken that off. Um, see. Um, no. See. For the 30-minute, we might get a 30-minute, but when does a 30-minute candle? There might be another sell on US 30. And see that? So this particular area here, it's a nice buying zone. But unfortunately, the demand zone is literally just above. It just finished right above there. Anyway, we'll see what we get. We might get another SAR for another time frame. So there's still, and there's some, yeah, here. There's some SARs here. There's some SARs here, but they don't line up with, there's no demand zone. So it's gonna be a tricky one. But the buys do look good for US 30 right now. All right, see, there it is. Okay, wait, it's come closer. But still no demand zone. And you see that rejection right there. And it happened so fast. And now is when there is a demand zone on it, but 313, yeah, it didn't come pretty low. But if this candle keeps pushing to the downside, it will obliterate that demand zone. But you can see how, and this one changed in real time here, right? They dropped it just there and then reversed it so fast. Yeah. So I think now buys on US 30 would be perfect, but I don't see any buys unless price gets down here. But anyway, so these are the second trades. So that second trade we took for the 15-minute EMA one for the sell. So this is the 5-second account. And then, of course, the 10-point account. I recovered the loss from this morning. So that's another good thing about multiple risk to rewards. Like even though you lose one trade, you can get it back. But mostly I like doing the 1:2 risk to reward for the 10-point entry because that one is a little bit riskier than the 5-second one. And mostly for the 5-second one, sometimes price just hits TP and then reverses to the other side. Since again, for these strategies, you have to remember that they are counter trend strategies. So you're trading against the trend. So you don't want to hold too long if you don't have to. But for example, like today, if you see how sometimes the market moves, like for me, I know whenever I see a 15-minute SCR rejection after market open, I know price reverses from there. Most times, like 7 out of 10 times, price will hit that and reverse back from there. So like if you have some of those confluences, like you can hold trades longer. Like earlier when I'd said these sells were pretty good up until this area, like this is a trade could have even held on for another 10 points. So you do like could have done like a 1:3 risk to reward. So somebody like me, this would be like a 6K trade or something. But for me, I just have like static TPs and stop losses. So I don't really ride price further than further than I've done. And there you go. Just tapped that area we were anticipating down there and then reverse. But this would have been such a nice buy if we had a demand zone. Only thing right now is that we do not have any demand zone where price is at. So we can still, and we do have a 15-minute order block, bullish order block down here, right? So this is another area where price can, where are our pre-market low? Yep, so today's pre-market low looks good for a buy. Let's see if we have any zones. We have a demand zone here. And the pre-market low is literally at the low of that demand zone. So this would be a nice buy if US 30 gets there as well. Because the reason I like this pre-market low for today, if you look at the wicks at this candle, at these two candles that created this order block, right? They rejected from there. And I don't know if this order block was based off of this candle or a previous one, but anyway, you can see this rejection of the wicks and then this strong push to the upside for market open, right? So if price gets back here, we should anticipate some sort of a smaller pullback. And then if US 30 is supposed to keep sinking from here, then back down later. But I do anticipate some sort of pullback at today's pre-market low. So let's see. Probably that's where it will get to because right now we don't have any area of demand. Then the nearest area of demand is down there around that order block. So let's see. Hopefully we'll get that. There we go. Okay, so what time is it? 10:15 for the EMAs. Do we have any EMA entry? No, we do not. We've tested all the EMAs. Yeah, gold. The reason saying I do see gold pushing up is this wick right here. Same thing for US 30, right? If you see wicks rejecting off of an order block, that's sometimes like a dead giveaway. Like a nice one yesterday was, I forget, let me see if I can find it. This one right here. This move right here. And especially if the wick is tied to like a bullish candle. So you can see this one because I was looking at gold yesterday too. We had a nice rejection off of the pre-market low. And also this big wick, and it closed as a bullish candle, rejected off of a 4-hour bullish low, hourly bullish low, hourly bullish high, and we were in a big demand zone, right? So this was a nice. So for this particular candles, what you want to do, you want to have stop loss below the wick of the candle. And I think that yesterday would have been, yeah, $15. I think it was a $15 TP and stop loss. And it ended up going, I think it did hit TP eventually later on in the night. Yeah. So keep an eye out on bullish candles that have a big wick and reject off of order blocks, and same thing, bearish candles that have big wicks from the top that are rejecting from bearish order blocks. For me, for some reason, I'm only able to see the buys subconsciously. I really don't pay attention to the sells. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because price is in like a flow or something. But mostly I'm able to see this bullish ones. But you want to like as much as we do have wicks right here rejecting off of this hourly and 4-hour bullish order block, this candle is still the candle that has the wicks is a bearish candle. So mostly you want, if it's for a buy, like you guys remember when we used to do like bullish pin bars or bullish hammer candles, whatever, when we used to do trading the candlestick pattern. So if it's a buy, you want to look for a bullish candle, and you can see same thing. Because when you get a bullish candle with a big wick, you normally get some strong push to the upside, right? So here's another bullish candle that had a big wick rejecting from an order block. So it's just something you pay attention to, or actually, it's something that you probably either see subconsciously as opposed to actually looking for it. But that's normally another nice pattern to trade.
Can I ask you?
What's up?
Yes. Awesome. So I've just been watching some, obviously some trading videos. I think he was the one American guy. I think he said he he looks at the 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. So you know the 9:30 a.m. I think you talk about it. It's the 9:30 a.m. That's the New York Open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, the on the 15-minute time frame, what you should do, uh, you should mark out like the range of the open, and then whatever, let's say the price breaks the low or the high of the New York Open, like of the 15-minute cap. He says, well, go on the 5 minute, and then whichever side price break of the New York Open, so the 15-minute range, he says that's likely which way price will carry on going for the rest of the day. Is that true? Obviously, I have to do the back test. Do you know about? And then also, when you
No.
talk about,
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know about that. So
yeah,
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 I don't know.
yeah, I'll do the back testing. I'll have to see maybe for a month or however long. The other thing is, when you said like the pre-market low, and what's that? The pre-market low high.
So every day the market opens at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So between
Yeah.
6 p.m. Eastern time and 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So just find your lows and highs, and that's it.
Oh yeah. So like right now in the New York session with the pre-market low and high. Um. So what should we look at?
So
Mm,
it's like here, right? If I so today's pre-market high was here. Today's pre-market high was so yesterday at so 6 p.m. This was yesterday 6 p.m. candle. So the high was right here at this candle right there. So that's the pre-market high. The pre-market low is just this, and that's it. So you just want to follow the regular confluences. So you want to buy at the low, sell at the high, but you want to make sure that there's supply and demand. You want to make sure there are no order blocks. If you're buying, make sure there are no bullish order blocks. No, if you're buying, make sure there are no bearish order blocks. If you're selling, make sure there are no bullish order blocks. And that's it. And do like you can trade it a lot of ways. For me, with the rejection scalps, I wait for price to get 10 points past that area. Excuse me, either enter on the 10 point or I enter on the 10 point and also enter on the 5 second entry. But that's it. So all you're doing, just find your pre-market lows and highs. Make sure they're in demand zones if you're buying. Make sure there's supply zones when you're selling. If you're buying, make sure there are no bearish order blocks around your entry. If you're selling, make sure there are no bullish entries, and that's it. And then just find a way to enter.
oh, so when you're saying pre-market low and high, is that basically before New York?
No, so literally like between 6 p.m. of every day and 9:29 a.m. of the next day. That is it. So those, what is it, 15 hours or something?
Mm,
Yeah, 15 and a
oh,
half hours. So 6 p.m. starts markets open every day, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So when US 30
yeah.
closes at 4:30 or whenever, it opens back for the post market session.
Okay, so are
So
you saying? Let me just think. What was it's not that's not previous daily highs. That's and low. That's basically
no, no,
um.
pre-market. So literally
It's the previous session.
6, mm-mm, mm-mm, 6 p.m. So previous day. So all you need to know is 6 p.m. the previous day and 9 to 9:29 a.m. the next day. That is it. Those two
Okay.
times.
Okay.
And then find the
Oh,
high and low of those between those two times.
okay. I'm getting it now. So 6 p.m. of the previous day, and then the nine. What was it again?
9:29. So 9:29,
Oh,
9:30,
eight.
depending on how fast you are.
Oh, okay. So 6 p.m. of the previous day and
Mm-hmm.
9:30 a.m. of the current.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see. Yeah. And the other thing I was doing, I still need to do the back testing. You know how you're talking about always buy when obviously you have to use the demand zone as a constant whenever there's a demand or something. So I was looking at that, and so the one guy where he says, you know, yeah. So the way he looks at it, you know how right now how you got the zones, how you look at the zones with the supply and you look for price to be in one of those zones. So what he does,
Mhm.
and and I've seen it because today when I took a trade on gold, I did the same thing what that guy did, and it actually works. But the problem is this: when I did the back, you know, like all our guys when they show the video, they show the entire results. Like what I mean by that, you know how you show the losses, the wins, and everything. Those guys, they
Mhm.
will just show you all the wins, and when they show you the losses, they won't like break it down. Every
Yeah,
strategy,
it's
when
because
yeah,
they're trying to sell you something. That's why you have to be careful who you follow. So somebody is
yeah,
always if somebody is just showing their wins, they're trying to sell you something. So
yeah,
yeah.
because some guys, I was watching one guy, and what he does is they just show you, like for example, you know, like maybe GU or EU is trading, but then somehow on the video he's showing the results of maybe something um AJ like or EJ. He's showing the results he made 5K on instead of showing the trade that he's breaking.
Yeah, I mean, for
Yeah.
me, like I'm past all of that. For me, if that's why I even tell people, like if my trading gives you FOMO or whatever, like move on somewhere else. It's like for me, I'm past all of that. If I find a trader he's being fishy, like I don't even give any energy towards that because it's like then what? It's like it doesn't matter. Like for me, if I make 50,000 and unless you're my family or whatever, you're not going to benefit from it or my friend. So regardless, so all you need is the skill. So for me, I'm
Mm.
subconsciously able to filter out people who are negative, people who, they're faking, they're trading. It's like I don't need that. So I don't, yeah, it's like I don't know. I don't know the guy you're talking about. But for
Mm.
me, it doesn't matter who it is. Like if I find that you're not helping my trading, then there shouldn't be any need that I should be even listening to you. So for me, I'm already past that. Like literally, like I'm past that 7363.7.
Yeah.
Um, so I'll put an alert here. Let's see, there
'Cause
is
also-
a uh-huh.
yes. So what I've seen is this. So when it comes to supply and demand, obviously every strategy has win and losses. The way I see to trade supply and demand, it does work. Like you know, with gold right now, let's say I think it was it last month or a few months ago or whatever. If you the way to trade it without I'm saying indicators, like you know when you use indicators, like it's a bit like visible, obviously. But I'm talking about trading with no indicators. Let's say, for example, you're trading supply and demand with no indicators. Right? The way you would trade it, and obviously I need to do more back testing, but from what I've seen, it, with gold, for example, if we just use uh, because it's the most clearest right now, you know, like let's say, for example, there's a bunch of, let's say there's three or more bullish candles, for example, right? Because right now the trend is bullish, right? So let's just say there's three or more bullish candles on the 4 hour time frame or on the 1 hour, and they both have to correlate. Now, let's say that zone has never been traded before. So it's never been traded before. Now, even let's say price has gone up and it's shooting, and on the 4 hour time frame, it's creating those bullish candles, and there's a fair value. You know, when price comes down now and taps those bullish candles, it's gonna very, very likely go back up. But what I've also realized is to add, you know how you talk about using the EM, but from what I've seen, it's best to use the 200 EM. Yeah, because usually um, when you use the 200 EM, price shows you like where the trend is. What I'm trying to say,
Mm-hmm.
like what the trend. So that's literally what I've just been doing, and just that alone can actually give a good result.
Yeah, I mean there's a bunch of ways to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just have to find a strategy, back test, and then forward test, and that's it.
yeah. I mean. It's kind of tricky. But from what I've seen, if the 4 hour time frame doesn't go with the 1 hour time frame, especially when you're doing like supply and demand with no indicators. That's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you've got indicators, you can obviously probably do a lot better. With no indicators, because you can't really see every single zone closely, you can't really do it. Even with no, I think even with no indicators,
No,
you can
I
still
mean,
trade.
with no
How?
indicators, you can still trade. I mean,
Yeah,
like Steven, who used to be, who used to trade with us, he doesn't use any indicators. Like, if you can trade without indicators, you're good. Like for me, I don't even play. I'm honest, I'm lazy. Like that's just
yeah,
me. I trade way better with indicators. There are people who don't like even having one indicator on the chart, but them they're so good they can draw an order block without even stressing. So it just depends.
mm,
You just have to know yourself as a trader. For me, I know myself. It's like I
yeah,
need indicators. Like that's the kind of trader I am. If you don't need indicators,
yeah.
even more power to you because who says
Mm.
one day trading view can go away, then what will you do after that?
Oh, yeah. Let's just say
Yeah,
trading view ever went away. Let's just say, obviously we don't know, but let's just
63.
say,
Give me
wait, wait,
one moment. I am
yeah,
taking, so I need price to come down. This is what SAR. Let's see. Uh, so I'll be taking a buy on US 30 here. If we get a crossover buy, I'm not taking it. So what we need is something like, so the 10 point is almost there. Okay. So I'm in the 10-point entry for US 30 right there. And then, so this is 20 points. So for 1:2, 20 points, stop loss, 40 points TP, and now waiting for the 5-second entry, which should be somewhere here. So I'm still waiting for the 5-second. Let's see when the 5-second, if the 5-second comes in. This is SAR. So we need a crossover buy. Price can push down. Let's see. Hopefully we reject from this. Okay, we also have an order block there. So the low of that price range is an order block. So hopefully we get to, okay, we should have it right here. Let's see how this closes. And this is prepping for a shoot up. Okay, so there's the 5-second entry, which is the official entry. And now the only thing I've told you guys, when the 5-second and 10-second have the same entry, like around the same entry area, that's not the best sign per se. Sometimes you want the 5-second to be like half of the TP of the 10-point entry. But anyway, so let's see if we get a push up here and hopefully we lock another 0.75 in. Yeah, but I don't like when the 5-second entry and 10-point entry are at the same level. But we'll see. See here. And I think we retested. I was looking to get a sell off of the 30-minute EMA one, but I don't think we'll get that. Let's see. Need a nice push up here. Come on, let's see. Where is the pre? All right, so there we go. Just need a continuous push up here. So for the 5-second entry, almost there. I need my stop loss to trail. Okay, I'm out of that trade. Full TP on the 5 second entry. 10 point entry is still going. It's at a 1:1 already, like about 1:1. So hopefully we get a push up. But anyway, another 0.5 for the day. So 1.5% for the day. If I was if I had my mic on for the first trade for the first winner, it should have been. Oh, if you guys marked it up, I knew I wasn't. I knew you guys couldn't hear me because I was doing something else. But if you marked it up when I started the live session because I put the markups on there, you should be up for the day 2.25%. But either way, it's a good day so far. And let's see if we can hit finally full TP on this one. This will be a good way to run the morning. There it is. I don't want it to. Why is it trailing so early? Okay, I'm out of the trade. Um, perfect and perfect trades right there. All right, so let me take this for my journal. 42,258. It was based off of this one is a little bit too close. It came a little bit too close to my liking. Came a little bit too close to stop loss. But this was a 30-minute. There's also a 30-minute EMA sell up here. I guess we still got time. But let's see if price gets back up there. Okay. It will be 30-minute EMA one, I think. Yeah. So that's what it will be. Perfect. Oh wow, today's like 10,000, about 10,000 on both accounts. Oh, I didn't. Let's see. Um, doo, doo, doo. All right. So far, so 5K on one account. So this is the 10-point account. Wait, is it the same? Wow. Where did I take a picture of the same account that I had? Do, do, do. Difficult. Mm, All right, so it should be, I think I should have them. Yep, so this is the 5 second entry account. So all three trades that we took today. And then the 10-point account, all three trades. I don't think there'll be anything else here. Um, So let's see. I think we have the pre-market low somewhere, right? I think the pre-market low is almost there. Okay, so we're approaching the pre-market low. It's 10:48. I don't know if we'll get it. So for me to take the buy at the pre-market low, it literally has to come before 11 a.m. You can still take it after 11 a.m. For me, it's just I just have specific times that I trade. So if it doesn't come during my trading sessions, then I will not be taking it. Mm. Mm. Okay, we have another SAR on the hourly here. Let's see if this happens, it will happen so fast. So we're in a demand zone. Let's see. 228. This is a good trade. 218.3. So this would be the area, and it would be here. But I think if you can see how price is moving, we are going to the pre-market low. So we are going to test that area. So the SAR is at 42,228. So for the 42 to 28, uh, so when price gets here, we already know that our SAR is here, 228 point, give or take 228.2. So if price gets here, we don't want to see a rejection and a crossover by just as of yet. So this will happen so fast if it does happen. And this is what SAR. Okay, so there, so we don't want to see a crossover buy. So price has already, if we go back, yep, price has already touched it. So we need price to come down to our 10 point for me to take that buy. All right, so if we make a crossover buy, which I think we'll make right here, based off of that push. If not this candle, then but this candle will give the crossover buy. So unfortunately, no trade there. Price did not come to us first before making the crossover buy. So at this point, we just go ahead and delete it because our rejection just happened. This is what we want to trade, this rejection. And you can see like this one, 28, 48 or something, right? Would have been like a distance of our TP. So I'll just go ahead and delete the alert and delete this as well. And let's see, maybe we will get a, yeah, so that trade was so perfect, especially because we also have a 4-hour EMA. Only thing is that this EMA has been retested. So the only other only other EMA we can trade today is this EMA. And I don't even think this one has any zones, so we can't even trade this one. It doesn't have a demand zone around it. So the only trade that's left to take, if possible, is the pre-market low. Okay. All right, so it's 10:58. I don't think anything, unless something happens so fast to push price to the pre-market low. But observe the pre-market low. Observe what happens at today's pre-market low and just see if there's any opportunities. For me, it's like I normally stop trading at 11 and then I'm back trading at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So I think by then the pre-market low will have been tested. We have like 1 minute. So unless it happens so fast right now for me to take that, and I can put an alert 219, 209.4. So this would have to happen like right now for me to take this trade. It might happen at the 11 candle. So the pre-market low is at 42,219.4. So we can observe this at a 5-second interval. Okay, so somewhere there. So we want price, we don't want to see a rejection at that blue line. We want price to come all the way down to 42,209 to enter a trade. And we have 8 seconds. Yeah. So that's it for today's live session. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I think tomorrow maybe we will have, let's see. Yeah, unfortunately tomorrow I can't do a live session, so maybe Friday. But anyway, just use the same. I'll still be trading, but I just have something else to look into. But just use the same confluences we use every day. If you need to, just do review the daily live sessions. But anyway, other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow.